Hello and welcome to the another session on workflow and tips. In today's session, I'm going to discuss on to the Autodesk Moldflow inside Pathline plot. So what is Pathline path results? It was introduced in Autodesk Moldflow 2016. It supports for the 3D mesh types as the results is being interpreted through the thickness. This result traces the path of the polymer fluid particles through the mesh of your part. It supports most of the thermoplastic, injection molding processes, overmolding, and reactive molding simulation. So what results can be traced? It can be overlaid with the speed of the polymer, the temperature of the polymer, the time at which the polymer particle reaches, the rate at which shear rate at which the polymer goes through the process, and the pressure. So when we are trying to represent these results or the traces, well, there is another form these traces can be represented as well. It can be in the line form, it could be into the markers, it could be in the tubes. How it can be useful? Pathline results are essentially a recording of the history of the particles. Is particularly helpful in determining the things like which gate the fluid particle enters from, how far the particle travel from before they freeze off, the path taken by the particle through the complex geometry. Let's look at the demonstration. I have taken a part with a default mesh, and as you can see, it's created a quite a fine mesh. That's one of the need for the pathline plot result. So I'm using a three gated onto the component, and as you can see that all the three gates actually that fills the part. And let's see how it could be useful in identifying some of the manufacturing defects. So one of the manufacturing defects we always see is the weld line. Now weld line, what I'm trying to show is the more like a surface results, but there is another way to represent the weld line is with the weld line in the 3D form. As you can see, this results is through the thickness, and this is where our pathline results will able to identify. So when you're on the pathline by default result by default, it's when it by it's on when it's on by default, it shows the path line from the each of the gate locations. That's what the default results look like, and it uses the maximum power from your graphic card as well. So probably if you are having some challenges or issues in viewing the uh, results, this could be related to the your graphics card not been supporting for these results. So look out for the graphic card that is been recommended by Autodesk Moldflow, and you will be able to find it onto our knowledge network. So as you say that it takes a little while and creates a very heavy results. And it's see now from this result you can see that I plotted for the speed, but you can plot for the pressure, temperature, shear rate, time, and it can be also be represented as markers lines, and it can be animated through the entire filling process. Okay. Now, the another way to represent is, as I told you, that identifying some of the manufacturing defects. So let's get and try to find it out. In this case, I have selected a few of the elements. So I just delete those, and now like in this case, I'm going to select these particularly this area, and I try to display it. It shows that how the polymer is been converging and which gate is contributing to the conversion or forming of that weld line over here. And as you can see that majority of the flow comes from this gate particularly, and a little bit of this gate has the contribution. You can, you know, select other region which are of your interest. Like in this case, I selected and want to find it out how the weld line is being forming and which gate contributes to the this weld line formation. Yeah. So be little bit careful in selecting. I selected few of the elements over here. That's the reason it has shown the trace. But if you select only these elements, it should show only the like flow converging in these elements. And then you can represent in the form of like temperature, at what temperature this weld line forms over there. Okay, and of course you can use a specified frame, or you can use the all frame, or you want to use it like specified one. Like in this case I want to use like 230 to 35 and see that. So it's all that weld line that is forming, it's well below the 230 because it shows that it's blue color. uh, so try and explore these plots and try to represent into the different formats, and particularly it could be, making your results more interpretable, more understanding to your customer, and see how it could be helpful in finding out some of the manufacturing defects as well. Thank you for your time and allowing me to demonstrate the flow line plot. If you have any queries, please reach out to the Autodesk sales representative or to the nearest authorized Autodesk SIM reseller. Thank you.